Hello there.
Hey, what is up to all your TCG loving faces? It's your boy Sean and Caesar here to you guys another video. And what we got for you today, I'm very excited and very happy to go ahead and say is we got a winning deck profile. It's been a hot minute since I've won a local. I think the last local I won was the series of videos I had with Boa. The first couple of games, the first 4 games of Boa, I won that local, and I haven't won a local since. I've been pretty unlucky, but ironically today, I won a local with one of my favorite decks that I always say that it's just. I say I'm coping. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite decks. It's something that I have put money into, a lot of love into, and as much as I love the deck, I understand that it's not the best, and it doesn't exactly get its chance to shine in a lot of these metas. But I was able to win it with Koby somehow, some way. I will say I was very lucky, but I do want to, give myself a bit of credit and say that even though my opponents were unlucky, and that's how I was personally lucky, I do feel like I played fairly well, considering taking advantage of what was going on their board, or taking advantage of what their hand looked like, or really just trying to play as best as I could, even though trying to play the best I could because of their unfortunate circumstance, I'll say. But very quickly, I just want to do a quick shout out to Billy Prince Stuff. This guy's on Etsy. If you guys have seen my Kuzan videos, the deck box I usually have off to the side on my Kuzan videos is made by the same person, and this one is the Koby one. This is actually what brought me to his Etsy store, is because I was looking up like deck boxes for Koby and Kuzan. Like I said, 2 of my favorite pet decks, and these things are just so nice, super nice. A little sliding top, enough space for your deck and your Dawn. The leader case slides up in the front there, and then it has little magnets. You slide it on top, right into these rails here. So I get it there. Oh, trying to get it at this weird angle. Let's do this way. There we go. Yeah, and they get the magnets to hold it in place as well, so it doesn't go nowhere. But it's so nice. It's so nice. But anyway, moving on to the deck profile. I was able to win with Koby. Koby is a 4-life 5k leader, red-black. Its leader effect reads, your sword-type characters can attack characters on the turn they are played. Once per turn, your navy-type characters with 7,000 base power or less will be removed from your field by your opponent's effect. You may replace 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order instead. This protects your board from KO effects, bottom deck effects, trash effects, literally anything. Trying to put something into life. Koby just says no. You can just protect your board, or your board gets hang out much longer than your opponents would like to admit. And then that first line of text there, we just recently got a keyword for this line of text, which is your characters can attack characters the turn they're played. This is now considered character rush. So this is the first leader that had built-in character rush. We had other decks, I should say, that had character rush like Usopp and Rebecca, anything Dressrosa. We had the Cordy Coliseum that was able to give your characters the ability to attack characters the turn they're played. But this is a control deck that attacks into your opponent's board. It forces your opponent to give you cards at a hand to keep their board alive, and then in a later game, you have basically drained them of all their resources, and when you start swinging into life, they can't really defend themselves properly, or at least that's the goal of the deck. And I can say today it definitely happened. But one of my favorite decks of all time. It took it to my first ever regional back in OP-11. I got absolutely steamrolled. Koby was having some problems in that meta. He has a difficult time dealing with big bodies. And then when you're in a meta where, for example, at that time UP Luffy was dominant, 2 9Ks a turn or bigger is really, really hard for this deck to just overcome. But he's gotten some new tools, and they do help out a lot. So let's go ahead and talk about that. First, just appreciate my sleeves. I love these things. Unfortunately, the store I'm by is only a TCG Plus store, and these sleeves were only available to Bandai official stores, or like One Piece official stores, whatever the case may be. So I had to order these from Japan, but luckily they came within 5 days. But let's talk about the list. Starting off with my 2Ks. We got 2 of Prince Gruss. Prince Gruss is basically just a 2K. He doesn't come up very often. He's a 1 cost, 2,000 power, 2K counter when attacking. All your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less cannot activate blocker during this turn. So really, you're only preventing 2K blockers from blocking. It's not a lot of blockers in the game. I can't really say when this card has come up. I've made it relevant back in the day. Like in the past, I would reduce something down to 2K and then swing with this to make it so that they couldn't block with whatever I just reduced down to 2K. But really, it's just a 2K. You can force something down to 2K and then make it so that it can't attack. But really, it's just a searchable 2K to help keep yourself healthy, for lack of a better word. After that, we have 2 copies of Otama. Otama is a 1 cost, 0 power, 2K counter, on play, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. This is kind of a tech card for something else that's in the deck, and I'll show you guys once we get to it. But it's not bad. It's a 1 cost, it gives something minus 2K. Like I said, your deck wants to swing into your opponent's characters. This just makes it easier to swing over your opponent's characters or make it harder for them to defend the characters. But like I said, this is mainly in here for something else that's in the deck to help me in this meta. But other than that, like I said, it's just a 2K. Unfortunately, not searchable, but there's other 2Ks in here that I kept specifically because they are searchable. This one is a little more prevalent. 1 cost, Aramaki. Now, Aramaki is pretty prevalent because what it does, it's a 1 cost, 2K power, 2K counter, activate main, you may trash this character if your leader is Navy type, up to one of your Navy type characters with a cost, one of your Navy type characters can also attack active characters during this turn, and then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. So it trashes itself to fill up your trash so that you have more trash for leader effect. It mills the top 2. Once again, for leader effect, so if you don't have anything else on your board, doing this turn 1 can really set up your trash. Typically, you don't want to because it is a 2K counter that you may need for later, and its effect may help you getting over your opponent's bodies in case they just don't want to turn them sideways. Some people may know what the deck wants to do and want to force you to spend more cards out of hand to be able to swing into their active bodies. So this does help out a lot. But like I said, it helps fill up the trash, and then it gives the characters that you play the ability to attack into active characters. So that combined with your Koby effect, your characters can attack characters the turn they're played. You play Aramaki, these can now attack active characters their turn they're played. Whether they're arrested or they're standing, your bodies are able to swing into their bodies and get some cards out of hand, or clear the board. And then the last 2K we have here is more of a utility card, and it does come up every so often, a little bit. It didn't come up in my local today, but it can. It is a 6 cost, 7,000 power, 2K counter, vanilla X-Drake. This is just a searchable 2K. You can pitch it for, counter, build up the trash, and then let's say when you get to 6 Dawn and you play your Helmeppo, if you don't have anything else to play, this is at least another 7K that you can put onto the board, swing into something, and then at the end of the turn gets bottom decked. So, just something that helps out. Next, let's go into our searchers. Starting off with the main searcher of the deck, the 1 cost, 0 power, Kujaku. It's a 1 cost, 0 power, 1K counter. On play, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal with the 1 Navy type card other than Kujaku, add it to your hand, and replace the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then activate main, you may trash this character. Up to one of your characters gains 1,000 power during this turn. This is such a good searcher. If only it was, let's say, black and trashed cards instead of bottom deck them, I feel like it would be an even better searcher. But it is really good for what it is. So basically, this is not only searching you 5 cards into your deck to find something that you may need, it's also going to basically give you that Dawn refund and buff up one of your characters on your board. So it's basically like you never spent the Dawn. It's as if you attach the Dawn to a character. So this is really, really good. Second searcher, and for me personally, the last searcher I run is 4 copies of Brand New. This will most likely change when rotation comes out because he does get rotated. But it is a 2-cost, 3K counter, 3K power, 1K counter. On play, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Navy type character other than Brand New, and add it to your hand, sorry, and then trash the rest. So this helps build up the trash. If you have this going second, you play this, grab something, trash the other 2. When your opponent swings, you just give them a counter, go ahead and build it from trash. Now you're at 3. Now your leader effect is online for whenever you want to protect something. But this is a very important card to the deck. It's a searcher, helps you find your pieces, builds up your trash, and does everything you want. Now, let's get into our blockers. An MVP for this deck, and something I thought I would never go down to less than 4 of, is Ripper. 1 cost, 1K count, 1K power, 1K counter. If you have a black Navy type character other than Ripper, this character gains blocker. This is such a good chump blocker. You put it on the board, they can't remove it because your leader effect, the only way they're getting around it is resting it. Other than that, it's just really freaking annoying for them to deal with it. Like I said, I never thought I would go less than 4 on this card, but there's been times where your hand gets, I wouldn't say bricked with these, but you have nothing but Rippers in your hand, and you can't really play them out because you don't have another black character on the board, so they just end up becoming 1K counters. It's a bit of a situational blocker. It does come up a lot, though, especially recently since we got another really important card that was also in the color black for this deck, so it does come up a little more, but we're running 3 of these, and then we're running 4 of what I feel like is a way more important blocker, and that is Doll. We're 4 of this bad girl here. 4 costs 1,000 power, 1K counter is blocker, and on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand if your leader is Navy type. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 6K power during this turn. This is so important. Being able to give something minus 6K power is huge. Trashing a card from hand kind of sucks, but we have other cards in the deck that help us refill our hand. Finally, because previously when I was playing this in OP-11, this card was really important, and I never wanted to take it out because it felt so important. Because it's a blocker, helps keep you alive. It's reducing the power of some of your opponent's more troublesome bodies, so that you're able to swing into them a little easier. But it just felt bad trashing a card from hand. But like I said, luckily as time has gone on, we have gotten more cards to help us with that hand size problem, and this is now probably the most prevalent and most important blocker that we have in this deck. It just helps out so much. Now let's get into the core of the deck, starting off with some new toys. Let's go ahead and show you the new MVP, the 3-cost Hibari. 3 cost, 5,000 power, on play, and when attacking, up to 1 of your sword type characters or leader or characters can also attack active characters during this turn. As an activate main, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. The longer this card hangs out, the better the game goes for you. When you play it, you can give the effect to herself, or you can give it to something else, and then let's say you choose herself. She's able to attack into an active character. When attacking, give that same ability to another character on your board, and that character can also attack into active characters. This card has made it so incredibly easy to swing into your opponent's boards, and the second effect of being able to give something -1, once again, it makes it easier to swing into their boards. You can bring a 6K down to a 5K and swing into it immediately, and then make it so that your leader can attack into active characters, swing into that immediately, and they're just giving you cards at hand to protect their bodies. If not, their bodies are just flying off the board, and they just can't. You're not allowed to have anything. You're allowed to keep it. And like I said, the longer this hit is on the board, the more value it gains. When you start chaining Hibaris one after another, that's 1K, 2K, 3K that you're minusing every freaking turn and making your opponent give you more and more cards at a hand just so that they have a board state. But this is so good. I kind of miss the previous Hibari, the 5-cost, 6K power that on play gives something -2K, and then when attacking, make it so your leader or a character can attack into active characters. I do kind of miss that card because I really enjoyed it. I was really stubborn. I didn't want to take that card out of the deck previously when people were running it at like a 2 of or 3 of. I always was really adamant about it being a 4 of. I really felt like it was important to keep it as a 4 of, but since we got this, I feel like it's definitely taken its place, but I still miss the Habari, and maybe one of these days I'll try to find a way to fit it into the deck just so I have more power reduction, more abilities to be able to swing into active characters, and then just having more bodies on the board. Because, like I said, that 5 cost 6k power Habari, like it on play, it minuses 2k, gives the ability to attack active characters to one of your characters or your leader. And then when it attacks, it buffs itself up by 1k as well. That's something I forgot to mention. So it's a 5 cost, 6k. When attacking, turns into a 7k. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, this is one of the cards that has helped the hand size problem, and it is incredibly good. The 4 cost, 5k, 1k counter, Koby from PRB02. This card is so incredibly good. On your opponent's turn, if your leader has the Navy type, this character gains plus 1000 power. When attacking, KO to one of your opponent's characters with 3000 base power. Then if you have 6 or less cards in hand, draw 1 card. This card is so incredibly good. And I mean incredibly good. I thought initially that it wasn't going to do much because unfortunately it does say 3k base. It would have been so much better if it didn't have that restriction, because then you could do stuff like play a doll, minus something down from like minus a 9k down to a 3k, play Koby, swing Koby into something else, pop that previously 9k body, draw a card, the whole 9. It would be so good. But I understand why they didn't go that route, because Koby would be a menace to society if we were able to reduce things down and pop them when attacking, as we're also attacking into another body on their board. It would be way too good. But for what it is, you are at least drawing a card every time this swings, as long as you're at 6 cards or less. When you are at 6 cards or less, you don't have to pop a 3k to get the draw. It doesn't have the requirement. It doesn't say you have to pop the 3k. You get the draw regardless. So this helps refill your hand every turn this remains on the board, and you can use that hand to defend your bodies or defend your life. As long as you stay within 6, you're drawing a card. So good. Let me fix this here. There we go. Next card that helps with the hand size problem here is the brand new 4 cost 6000 power Kujaku from EB03. On opponent's turn, all your sword type characters with a cost of 6 or less gain plus 2k power. This crap is incredible. Koby, it's a base 6k or base 5k, or sorry, it's base 5k. On your opponent's turn, it gains plus 1k. Kujaku buffs that up again by 2k. So this is an 8k. She buffs herself up by 2k. She's an 8k. She buffs up Campari by 2k. She's a 7k. It makes it so incredibly hard for your opponents to swing into your board, which is what Koby used to be weak to, but now it's much easier. And this does stack. So the more Kujakus you have on the board, the more power your characters are getting. It is so freaking good. On play, you may trash one Navy type card from your hand and draw 2 cards. Once again, this is helping the hand size problem. You're trashing 1 card, building up your trash for your leader effect, and then you're drawing 2, so you're plussing 1 in hand. This is just so good. This come up a lot in one of the games I played today. I had a total of plus 4k on my board because I had 2 Kujakus on the board, and it was just so hard for my opponents to swing into my body to get rid of them, and it was all downhill from there because you just had no way of dealing with my bodies. But this card is so good. It's helped out a lot, and I'm so glad we got it. Next card that I wasn't previously playing in my list, so I took it out for other tech cards, I should say, is the 6 cost 7k Helmeppo. This used to be the heart of the soul of the deck. I feel like in OP-15 it will be again because of the new Koby that we're getting. But it says on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card, and play up to 1 sword type character card with a cost of 8 or less other than Helmeppo from your trash, then place the rest at the bottom, then place the 1 character played by this effect at the bottom of your deck at the end of the turn. So we all know what this card wants to play out. It wants to play out your Shikara Koby. You're playing this, you're trashing the Koby, you're drawing 1 to basically go hand neutral. You then play the Koby out for free. The Koby is able to swing into active characters. You're able to start trying to clear board from there. And then if they have something else that's rested, this Helmevo can also swing into those active characters as well. So this crap is just so freaking good. Once again, Kujaku buffs this up to a 9k. Much harder for them to swing into. The more you have, the bigger this dude is. Came up a lot today. Or actually, it came up really in the last 2 games I played. Barely saw him the first 3 games. But when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this is good. I don't know why I took you out. I'm sorry for forsaking you, but this card is just so good in helping you clear your boards. The more things that are rested, the more swings you're going to get. And like I said, we all know what we want to play off of it. Let's go ahead and talk about that, because it does more than just being a big body, a big pretty face to swing into active bodies. And as our 8 cost, 9k Koby. I'm running it currently at 3. I did see him a lot today. I don't think I need to go up to 4. I think keeping that space open for something else I need is viable. It makes sense. I'm okay with it. 3 is, a nice number. It is an 8 cost, 9,000 power. On play, up to one of your characters can also attack active characters during this turn. So that means you could get this as anything. You could get this as something else. You could give this to a card that isn't a Navy type card, which typically you don't really have that many. I have a few that we'll get into in a little bit. But you can give this to anything. I usually give it to itself because it's going to get bottom decked at the end of the turn anyway. So this just helps me swing into other bodies on the board, like bigger bodies. And then when attacking, you may place 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck. In any order, up to one of your leader or characters gain plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you could give it to itself, you could give it to your leader, you could give it to one of your other bodies on the board, and that plus 1k stays until the end of your opponent's next turn. I usually give it to lead to make my leader a 6k leader on my opponent's turn, making it a little harder for them to swing into me, and then Kujaku makes it harder for them to swing into the board. So all around, it's just really tough for them to overcome my board and my leader. But this card is so freaking good. I can't express to you how many bodies I cleared using this card throughout the history of this deck. Just being able to play it out with Helmepo, immediately swing into something on the board that I really do not want there, get it off the board, and then he goes bye-bye and goes to the bottom of the deck, and it's like it was never there. And it makes sense because when you play something out this big off of Helmepo, cards this big are unable to be saved by your leader effect, because as we mentioned earlier, leader effect is only able to keep 7Ks or less alive. Base 7Ks. This is a base 9K. You're not able to protect this. So this is on the board. It can get Red Rock. It can get... it used to be able to get Rygoed. It can get... having a brain fart here. It can die to... it can die to its own removal, which is like Honesty Impact, stuff like that. Like... if you reduce it down and then like Divine Departure, like it can just be removed. It can't be protected. That's the base. That's what I'm trying to get at. You can't protect this, but it is a very important card and a very good card. Once again, these cards I did not have in the deck for the last couple tournaments I played. I was testing out a build I saw on YouTube. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of the build here. This is the build that I was testing out, and I did not have these cards in here. Obviously to take advantage of other things, but I think it's pretty important to keep them in there. And I didn't want to take them out previously, but now I'm a firm believer, and I really understand that like these cards are important. We just got to find a way to make them work in the deck that we're in, and this is where this comes up. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. My tech cards for this deck. Starting off with Round Table, a 4 cost, activate main. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 10k power during this turn. That is freaking huge. This is another card in this deck that we're losing in rotation. We're losing Otama in rotation. We're losing Brand New in rotation. Round Table is huge. This card is so freaking good. 4 done. Minus 10k something. Your bodies can swing into anything. Active characters, rested characters, whatever. You're giving one of their big bodies minus 10k and swinging straight into it. The lowest you can get something on their board, because the biggest character we have in the game currently is 13k. This brings Roger down to a 3k, immediately 3k. and you swing a 6 into it, they got to give you a lot of cards just to see if they think they keep that thing alive. For what? So that they can swing with it to begin the next turn. You just keep swinging into it. Either make them let it die, or make them just give you so many cards at a hand trying to keep it alive for whatever reason. But this is so good. If you have Habarus in the board and Round Table in hand, this reduces it even more. It's just so much harder for them to keep their bodies alive when you have something like this in your deck. This did come up a bit today. Not as much as I thought it would be, but I do not want to take them out, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do when I do take them out. But we'll figure that out when we get there. And then our last tech card is Ben Beckman. This, I feel like, is super important into the meta currently, and kind of the reason why I wasn't playing him up on our Kobe's. They're bricks, so I was opting to play other things instead. Like I said, like the list I just showed you guys, that was the main reason why I wasn't running them, was that it made sense to me. I read it, I looked at it, I played it, and I was like, okay, like this makes sense. I see why he would build it this way. And when I decided to update to this list that I came up with on my own, after drawing obviously inspiration from my previous list, I figured this would still be very important to keep into the deck because of what we're currently dealing with in the meta. And what do I mean by that? There's a lot of yellow in my personal locals, and a lot of yellow cards have these pesky keywords such as on KO, deal the damage to your opponent. On KO, your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hand. On KO, you heal. Those are really annoying when it comes down to a deck that is removal by combat. It is so annoying that what Koby wants to do gets punished with yellow decks just being able to go, oh, on KO I get this, on KO I get that. It's so annoying. So I put this into the deck and decided to keep it into the deck because let's give some examples. Let's say they play a Kuma. If you have already a Habari established, Habari would give -1k to the Kuma, and then you trash the Kuma because it's a 7k down to a 6k. Trash it, they don't get the on KO. Let's say they play a Kikunojo, 6k. We're just going to go ahead and trash it. Let's say they play a Nami, on KO, play a 6k or less. Go ahead and just trash it. Let's say they play the Nico Robin. This is where the Otama comes in. For 2 cards, we get rid of an 8k body, and we don't have to deal with the on KO of that Nico Robin. Go ahead and play Otama, -2. Play Ben Beckman, go ahead and trash it. If you have Habaris on the board, you no longer have to waste a 2k out of your hand. You have 2 Habaris, -2k, trash it. This is why I'm saying, like, Habaris, the longer this is on the board, the more value you gain. And then when you see these in hand, you're just able to get rid of so freaking much. And it's one of the MVPs in this deck for sure. I don't want to take this out, and going into next set with OP-15, I'm going to try to find more space for this, depending on how our locals look. If yellow is still as problematic as it is, I may try to keep this in the deck because it just comes up so much. Just being able to get around all those pesky bodies and just being able to be like a good source of removal while you're establishing like all your other bodies as well. It's just so good. And like I said, Koby, if need be, you can go ahead and give Ben Beckman the ability to pack it to active characters. I don't think I've done it yet. It hasn't really come up. I don't feel it. Never really found it necessary, but it's an option. It's an option. But that is the deck profile right there. And I'll show you guys real quick what I got. Mainly, like, this was the winner. I mean, I'm not like a big Morley fan. Ironically, the 2 locals I've won for this season so far, both of them were Morley winners. I'm not too big of a fan of them. I'm not really going to keep it. But out of the packs, I can't remember how many packs I got. I managed to pull the gold Namidon, which is, I mean, that's a good hit. That's a good hit in my humble opinion. But that's the list. That's how it goes. And you guys can see how these games went on the channel. I'm pretty sure I'm going to post this after all the games were played, or after I post all the games. So we got 5 rounds from that local. It's going to be 5 videos. And then on the same day as the final video, the finals game, I'll probably post this on the same day so that you guys have the deck profile available to you guys after seeing the locals before you guys ask. Granted, you guys might still ask, but here it is. This is what I'm rocking with. Going into set 15, I'm most likely going to change some things, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But this is it. I'm so incredibly thankful and lucky that I was able to go ahead and win locals with this deck. It's been a really long time since I won a locals. Like I said, Bo was the last one I won a local with, and then I won a local with Shanks way back, maybe like 2 months ago, before we got PRBO2. And Koby's one of my favorite decks. It's been my pet deck. Like I said, it holds a very dear place in my heart because I took it to my first local, even though I got rolled. I just love this deck. It's just so much fun for me. So definitely gonna be grinding going into 15, finding out what the new lists are, what the new techs are, what we should be doing with this deck into OP-15, and then hopefully I'm able to get as lucky as I did today and to win some more locals with this deck because I just absolutely love it. But that's gonna be all for me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you guys think of the deck list, any changes you might make, any inputs. Like, I'm open to constructive criticism. I would love to hear if there's any other Koby copers out there that have any tech, any deck ideas that they would like to share. Please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But that'll be it. I'll catch you all guys in the next video. Jonas, are out. Peace.